Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about she will start missing you when this happens. Okay, so if you've got an ex-girlfriend that you're hoping is going to change her mind about you and she's going to start missing you and want to come back into your life. Or maybe you're just sort of like in that process of, I kind of want her to, I don't really care if she comes back or not, but I kind of want her to regret breaking up with me because it hurt, it stung when it happened. Maybe you're over it and you just want her to feel that way, which is a fine thing to do, because even though it may seem like a dark thing, if you use that energy to actually make your life better, it's the best thing you can do, because you may never know for sure if your ex-girlfriend is going to regret the breakup or regret losing you. But sometimes you need to use like a really dark energy to motivate yourself. So, for example, it could be the motivation of getting your ex to regret the breakup. Or it could be the motivation of proving your parents wrong, or proving those bullies at school wrong, or proving that woman who rejected you years ago wrong. It's okay to use those kinds of energies if you're actually using it as fuel to make your life better. Okay, so I just wanted to leave that as a disclaimer when I say those kinds of things. You should be using that energy to actually make your life better, not to really burn them down and destroy their ego or make their life worse in any way. You're using it really for yourself and to actually better your life. So what is it then that will make a woman start missing you? Okay, so put the timestamp somewhere because I've only just got into this. I'm sorry for the first tangent of the first 2 minutes of the video. But anyway, I'll talk to you about my ex story, okay? And I talked about it in the previous video I made, but I'll say it again here for any of the new viewers that are coming and haven't heard this story before. So what happened with me with an ex that came back into my life, or tried to get back into my life? I didn't actually get back together with her. But what happened was this, okay? I was over it. I was done, because there was a lot of things about her character that I didn't like anymore, because I figured out that she was actually a compulsive liar and was lying about so many different things in her life, really big things too, not little white lies, you know, not like if I said to her, oh, do I look fat in this outfit? And she was like, oh, no, you don't, when I did. Nothing like that. I mean, really big things. She lied about having siblings that she just made up, that these adoptive siblings that she said that she had, and it just wasn't true. She made, she had these names for them that were actually just Formula 1 drivers, and things like that. And yeah, so I found out she was a compulsive liar. Anyway, the relationship ended, and I removed her, or she removed me from Facebook. And then after about 3 weeks, she re-added me again. And I think the reason she did was because she could sense that I was done, that I was over it and I was not interested. So in a way, I was doing no contact naturally. I was naturally doing no contact. I wasn't trying to do no contact to try and get her back. I was done. I was over it. I was like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. Goodbye. If you're gone, you're gone. I don't care. And I was coming from that place. And that's how I felt. And I think she could sense that. And she could sense that she was actually going to lose me. So she reached out to me. So she re-added me. And then a day or so after that, she reached out to me and started talking to me. And I did talk to her for a little bit. And we even tried to like maybe arrange having a meetup and having a chat and having a catch up. But I shot her down after I realized that there's no way I should actually follow through with this. Because I remembered and I was thinking about her characteristics. Like, no, I can't go back to that. I can't go back and try and be in a relationship with a woman who lies about so many things like that. So that's basically what happened. But that is it. That is the thing that will get her to really start missing you if she still has feelings for you. You have to be completely over it. You have to be doing no contact naturally and just be like, I'm done. But obviously that's easier said than done if you do at the moment still have feelings for her. So I was completely prepared to move on, okay? So that's the place where you need to get to, okay? Because that's what's going to make the difference. Because it may be the case that she can still kind of tell that you're not over it and that you're still kind of chasing her. Maybe it's that you still watch her stories on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. or maybe you still like her posts, or maybe you still message her now and again. You have to do no contact completely and just cut her off and just go. Okay? So how then do you get over it completely? So one of the things that helped me in particular with that ex was that I was thinking about all the characteristics that she had that I didn't like. So like this compulsive lying that she would do. So sometimes one of the best ways to actually get over someone is to not romanticize over their good aspects. So like maybe how good looking they are, or how nice it feels to be intimate with them. You've got to start, in a way, romanticizing not the good things about them, but the things that you didn't like, the things that weren't nice. And this was one of the ways that helped me get over my first ex, who was a woman who cheated on me. Okay? And it took me a while to break up with her because, first of all, I was sort of tired of searching. I didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone else because I didn't want to go back to square one. But she kept on cheating on me multiple times throughout the relationship, and at the moment, it got to a point where basically it was so bad. I was like, I'd rather be single forever than with you. Basically, I'd rather be single forever than to just be cheated on time and time and time again. And anyone that knows my story will luckily know that I did actually eventually meet a woman who would be my wife in 2017, and it all came together basically for me, and I'm very happily married and we're doing really well. And if you would like to read more about my story, then you can go and read my book, which you can go and read for free on my website. You don't need to sign up for anything, you don't need to log in, you don't need to do anything. It's literally, you can go to the website, click on the book page, and you can go and read the book. If you want a hard copy of it, you can get it off of Amazon. But if you want to read it for free, it's there on the website for you to go and view at your leisure anytime you want. No login, nothing. You don't need to do anything to read the book. And you can hear more about how I met my wife, how I did to attract my wife, and things like that on there. And it's all there for you. Okay. So again, one of the things that helped me get over then that relationship was to think about how many times she cheated on me, and I just started to like think of all the bad things in my head, and that was helping me to detach and to finally break up with her, and for it to end. And it helped also after the breakup as well to help me get over it and move on and start to, date new women and things like that. I would just think about how awful it was to be with her. I would think about how awful it was to be cheated on. And with the girl who was a compulsive liar, I just kept on thinking about how annoying and how weird it would be to be in a relationship with someone who lies like that all the time. So sometimes you've got to think about these things. And it may be the case that the woman that you're thinking of right now wasn't that bad. Obviously, maybe you didn't have any bad characteristics like the ones that I experienced. And good for you as well, if that's the case. It sucks to be cheated on. It sucks to find out that you're potentially dating someone who's a little bit insane. So, with peace and love, allegedly. So what you got to think of then is any negative things that you can think about. So maybe the case that she was just rubbish with money. Like maybe she just would overspend, and she didn't have any savings, because whenever she got a paycheck from her job, she would just spend it all on junk and stuff that's just useless. And how horrible it would be to actually be living with a woman and being in a long-term relationship with a woman who's just rubbish with her finances, and how bad that would be on your finances. Yeah. So you want to kind of like think about those things. Any sort of thing that you can sort of grasp that is negative about them, you need to romanticize those things instead of being nostalgic and romanticizing the good things. Because what we tend to do when we go through a breakup, and why we kind of want to get back with someone sometimes, is that we look at the relationship with nostalgia. And this is what kept me going back to that first ex of mine who would cheat on me a lot. I would think about how great it was in the beginning, like in the first few weeks that we were dating and seeing each other, and I would keep on thinking about that and how fun it was, and how nice it was to be with someone finally who I really liked and she really liked me back. Obviously, she didn't like me that much if she kept on cheating on me. But from my point of view, in my head at the time, I was thinking about how nice it was that she wanted to be with me and wanted to be in a relationship with me and things to that degree. And we often do that when we break up with someone. We think about the relationship with nostalgia. And what you want to do is you want to put more emphasis on the things that were not so good. And that's how you can start detaching yourself from that person, so you can start doing no contact correctly. Okay, and then maybe she'll come back. But then, you see, then if you really thought about all the bad things that she did, will you even want her back? That's the question, right? Because usually it's never a good idea to get back with an ex. An ex really is an ex for a reason. I know that's a cliche saying, but because it is a cliche saying and people say it a lot, there's probably some truth to it. And I've always found that. It's never a good idea to get back with an ex, usually. The only time that I would say that it's okay to get back with an ex is if, for whatever reason, there was just a massive misunderstanding. Like that maybe they thought that you cheated on her when you didn't. Or maybe a third party got involved, like, I don't know, like, let's say, her mother or her father or her best friend or her sister or brother or something. Someone got involved, right, and made her split up with you. That's the only time I would think, okay, there's probably just been a misunderstanding here, or a third party has got involved. And if you really love that person and you really love her and she really loves you, then maybe that's the time when things maybe need to, you can resolve things and work things out. But other than that, it's probably not a good idea to get back with an ex. And even then, if a third party has got involved, if that person has really like dug themselves into her life, and that person is always going to be around, that third party that made that misunderstanding or whatever, if it was a third party that got involved, do you really want that person in your life as well? Because when you marry someone, you're also not just marrying her. When you get in a relationship with someone, you're not just getting in a relationship with her. You're also getting in a relationship with her family and with her friends and anyone else that's really heavily involved in her life. So you've got to think of, okay, when I'm buying into her, I'm also buying into her world. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you like her world as much as you like her. Because, you know, you may not be able to change those things. Right? She may be heavily invested in those things, especially if they're people like her family and friends that she's not necessarily going to ever really, you know, ditch for you, you see. So you've got to think about that kind of thing. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovage.com and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.